Alright, so boom, Wagwan bruv, welcome back to another installment of edutainment, mandem, galdem, Wagwan chulots. As y'all know already, we're going through a whole pandemic, quarantine. You can't be my quarantine, you be my quarantine though. I'm just playing. Coronavirus.
Move, bitch, you got coronavirus.
But it has come to my attention that we are getting CERB checks. So essentially, pertaining to my Canadian subscribers. So if you're from the US, you're watching this, this probably doesn't really apply to you, but it still might be helpful for your own situation. But particularly for my Canadians out there in the world, it is how to calculate your taxes on your CERB payments. This is a post courtesy of Sip Stack Socialize on Instagram. So shouts out to y'all for putting this together, and I figured I just bring more exposure to the Instagram post so that you are informed and well aware of your tax obligations going forward.
All right.
Like for me personally, without seeing this post, what I did was essentially I just based on my experience with self-employment, you know, YouTube, content creator, all that jazz. I've usually put about 30% of my income into a specific tax account. So what I did essentially was I opened a separate bank account. Well, not different bank, but a separate bank account specifically for my taxes. So all my taxes go into that account, and I keep track of all my income. So for me personally, any income I get, I've just gotten into the habit of putting 30% away towards taxes. But given this year, a lot of y'all are technically self-employed, so to speak. So the government isn't withholding any taxes back, and you got to take that upon yourself to make sure you are in accordance with your own tax bracket. So how to calculate the tax on your CERB payment in Ontario. But I'm sure it applies for the most part to other provinces. Shout out to British Columbia, Halifax, Manitoba, Winnipeg, all the above. So Ontario, if at the end of 2020 your income is between $0 and $48,535, put aside at least 20.5% of your CERB payment to pay your federal and provincial taxes. So if you make less than $48,500 on any CERB payment you get, you put about 20%. So if we do the math, 2,000 times let's just say 0.2 equals $400. So every CERB check or CERB deposit you get, you put $400 into a separate bank account so that you can keep track of the money that you may end up having to pay back. Simple, cool. The next tax bracket. If at the end of 2020 your income is between $48,000 and $97,000, essentially, you put aside at least 29.15%, let's just say 30%, of your CERB payment to pay your federal and provincial taxes. So if you make between $48,000 and $98,000 or $97,000, and your CERB check is $2,000, 30% of that is $600. That means if you are in this tax bracket, you should be putting aside at least $600 worth of your CERB check for taxes, potentially. Simple? Are y'all following me? Hopefully this is making sense, right? The hack essentially is to open a separate bank account. It's usually pretty free. A separate savings account with your bank, and so they can keep track of the money. Because if you try and mix the tax account with other spending or personal spending, no capping, you will lose track. You won't even be able to manage it properly. So yeah, the next brackets, we are leveling up. So If at the end of 2020, you anticipate your income will be between $97,000 and $150,400, you put aside 38% of your CERB payment money to pay your federal and provincial taxes. Sheesh. Damn. You're just taking the money like that, bro. Holy. Damn. Is it like that? I haven't gotten into this tax bracket just yet. In Jesus' name, I will be in this tax bracket. But damn, bro. That's damn near 40% of the whole.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough. That's tough. Man, that's tough. You know, that's tough.
Damn, that's crazy. But I will say one thing, right? It's times like these that make you appreciate living in Canada. You know, the free healthcare, the fact that we are on our third CERB check payment. I think the next one is May 11th. But the US, they've only given one payment out to people. And there's been a whole debacle, a whole mishandling of that whole situation in the US. But a lot of Canadians are on our third check, third deposit. And not a lot of Americans can say that. I will say that. So, you know, would you rather live in Canada right now or America?
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
I don't know, bro. That's up to you. The weather is a bummer, but you know, you can't always have everything good. It's funny because a lot of the good weather places have some of the worst natural disasters. You know, California with their earthquakes, Florida with their tornadoes and shit. So you can't have it both ways, okay? You gotta give some to get some. 40%. Damn. Next one. Oh, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but of course the criteria for even applying for CERB is that you are at least 15, you made at least $5,000 last year, you are currently being affected by the coronavirus situation, COVID, by either reduced hours or no hours, and or you make less than $1,000 per month leading up to your actual application timeline, right? So those are the major requirements. Excuse me. Next one. If at the end of 2020 you anticipate your income will be between $150,400 and $214,368, you put aside 41% of your CERB payment to pay your federal and provincial taxes. That's straightforward. Hopefully you'll see the screenshots or the images of the posts beside me if I'm not lazy enough to edit it. Yeah, there's that. And then there's one more, I think. Yes. If at the end of 2020 you anticipate your income will be above $214,000 and 369 cents. What am I saying? What am I actually saying right now? My bad. If at the end of 2020 you anticipate your income will be above $214,369, put aside 46% of your CERB payments to pay federal and provincial taxes. Crazy, man. Crazy. That's why when YouTubers, content creators, or anybody shows you how much money they make, always understand that at least almost 40% of that income is going towards taxes. Obviously, they have tax write-offs and like business expenses, but just understand that's not all of it is profit. If someone makes $1 million on YouTube or $1 million in a show, at least 40% of that income is going towards taxes if they don't have any other business expenses. That's something to think about. But yeah, so just a brief overview again. If you make less than $48,000, you put 20% of your income towards a tax account that you open up. If you make between $48,000 $536 and $97,069. You put at least, let's say, 30% of your income, your CERB payment, in your tax account. And if you make between $97,000 and $150,473, you put aside 38% of your CERB payment money to pay your federal and provincial taxes. And if you make between $150,474 and $214,368, you put aside 41% of your income. And if you make above $214,369, you put aside 46% of your income of your CERB payments to pay federal and provincial taxes. So shout out to SIP, Stack, Socialize. These are all rough estimates, but that's generally what you should look into. So I feel like a lot of people will actually fall into the category of $48,000 to $97,000. So I guess just in general, a safe estimate is to put 30% of your income into a tax account that you can set aside for future tax purposes for next year. You know what I'm saying? I normally already put 30%, but yeah. Hopefully this video was informative. It gave you some things to think about, and it helped answer any of your CERB tax questions. Okay, God bless, much love, peace, and joy. While you're here, why don't you watch some of my other videos, other personal finance videos, and maybe if you struggle with weed addiction, you should definitely check out the cards, the description, and the pinned comment. As always, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How are y'all doing today? Hopefully you're doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. I'm a G, bruv, bravette, mandem, galdem, flip the script, I'm out, deuces.
See, I was like, no, you're not my fam, not my brethren, you're not